Stay with that story and talk now to Dan Ives, who's Managing Director for Equity Research at Wedbush Securities. Good to see you again, Dan. Welcome back to the programme. So if you actually look at these numbers from Nvidia, they're actually pretty good, aren't they? So why the slump in shares?
It's a champagne moment. I mean, look, the AI revolution is being led by the godfather of AI, Jensen, Nvidia. This is just a knee-jerk reaction. Stock's been parabolic, but let's be clear. I believe this is on its path to $4 trillion market cap. This was just what I view as a blockbuster earnings report.
There have been some concerns, though, haven't there? One of them being whether they can actually deliver adequately. What do you make of those?
Look, I mean, it's a high-class problem because they're the only game in town. When you look at Blackwell, demand to supply today is 15-1. So it's going to take time for that to level out. But what that means is numbers are going to continue to go higher. And I think this is one still being underestimated. I mean, this AI party, it's 9:30, 10 p.m. We believe it goes to 4 a.m., being led by godfather of AI, Jensen.
So plenty of party years ahead then. But Nvidia is really so far ahead, isn't it, in the AI chip-making market? Are there any companies that can realistically catch up and compete?
Look, it's their world. Everyone else is paying rent. I mean, they're miles ahead of anyone. AMD, there's some others that can maybe get some chip share over the next, call it, year or two. But that's why. I mean, if you look at the trillions of CapEx, there's only one company in the world that could supply it. That's why their GPUs are the new oil, the new gold. And I don't see anything stopping this over the next 12 to 18 months.
What about potential hurdles from regulation, though? The US saying it might limit sales of these chips that Nvidia makes to some countries. How much of a setback could regulation like this be?
I think bark's worse than a bite there. I mean, there'll be some issues, but especially when it comes to China negotiations. Also, Elon Musk is going to be heavily involved there. So I think this is something that, when all's said and done, it's going to be a pretty contained impact, is not going to really dent the broader story. And I think we've also started to see some of the breadcrumbs of that strategy that will ultimately play out in the Trump administration in 2025.
So currently a $3 trillion company. You said you thought it could get to $4 trillion. What is their outlook for growth? Is there room for more?
Look, I mean, we're talking about a company, we could be talking about 250 billion of revenue, $6, $7 of earnings. That's why in this Mount Rushmore of tech, it's Jensen, it's Nadella, it's carved from Palantir. But it's just starting. Because what you see in NVIDIA, that tidal wave of spend is coming in the rest of tech. That's why if you're a tech bull right now, you're sleeping well at night with the popcorn, watching this rally continue to play out.
Dan, great to talk to you as always. Thank you so much for joining us. That's Dan Ives from Wedbush Securities.